Today, we're taking a truly timeless story about self-worth and the hidden value of our flaws, and we're totally reimagining it in a vivid, animated cyberpunk world. You know, we spend so much of our lives trying to project absolute perfection, hiding the parts of ourselves that feel, well, broken. So let's reframe exactly how we view those shortcomings through this neon-lit parable.
Okay, let's dive into this. It's a pretty profound question, right? What if the thing you consider your absolute greatest weakness is actually your greatest gift? Keep that in the back of your mind because to answer it, we're going to look at the story of a hardworking courier living in a dystopian cyberpunk metropolis. Section 1. The Burden of Imperfection. A Tale of Two Pots. Our story begins with our courier's daily routine, fetching water from a distant sector using two specialized containment vessels. Now, there was a stark, undeniable contrast between these two vessels. The perfect pot was this flawless, polished chrome unit that delivered 100% of its water every single trip. And then there was the cracked pot. It had this small fracture in its casing, meaning slowly, drop by drop, half of its payload leaked right out onto the steel walkways. And because of this, it was just deeply, deeply ashamed. The perfect pot didn't just quietly do its job either. It actively looked down on the cracked pot with total contempt. As they swayed on the carrier's shoulders, it would actually mock the broken unit, saying things like, "Look at you, you're completely useless. Half of your water is always gone. Why does our master even bother carrying you? You're nothing but a burden." Ouch, those words cut deep, and slowly, the cracked pot actually began to believe them. The cracked pot suffered in total silence until, one morning under the glaring neon lights, it finally reached its breaking point. In a trembling voice, it spoke up. "Because I am useless, master. I have a crack in my side. You walk such a long distance, but because of me, half of your effort is wasted. Please forgive me for being so broken." Which brings us to Section 2, The Path of Flowers, A Change of Scenery. Now, you might expect the courier to just toss the broken unit into the scrap heap, right? But instead, he smiled softly and promised to show it something special on their walk home. So the next cycle arrives. As they walk back along the familiar, gritty sector, the courier tells both pots to look down at the sides of the path. Ask yourself, what exactly did he see? What was he trying to get them to notice? The cracked pot absolutely gasped in surprise. All along its side of the path, these beautiful bioluminescent flowers were blooming, literally pushing right through the concrete. But when the perfect pot looked down at its own side, nothing. No flowers at all, just cold, dry metal and scattered debris. For a brief moment, the cracked pot completely forgot its sadness. But the second they reached their destination, it looked down and saw that, once again, half its water was gone. Its joy just completely vanished. It looked up at the courier and whispered, "Master, even after seeing those lovely flowers, I still failed you. I am still broken." It was completely missing the larger picture here. And this brilliantly illustrates the master plan. Step 1. He had actually always known about the crack, and instead of fixing it, he understood it. Step 2. He intentionally planted synthetic flower seeds all along the cracked pot's side of the walkway. And Step 3. Every single day, without even realizing it, the leaking water gave them life. Because of that perceived flaw, this barren sector now has beauty, kids are laughing, and the courier's heart is filled with joy. This profound realization leads us right into Section 3, a change of heart, seeing the unseen value. Because, it wasn't just the cracked pot whose world was turned upside down that day. The perfect pot's voice was no longer mocking. It was actually trembling with shame. It turned to the cracked pot with genuine remorse and said, "I was blind to see the value in what I considered a flaw. I judged you when I had no right. While I was busy being proud, you were creating something beautiful that I could never create." It asked for forgiveness, and the cracked pot, full of compassion, freely gave it. So the crucial point here is the lesson the courier shares next. Nobody is perfect. The perfect pot is excellent at carrying water, completely fulfilling the purpose of survival. But the cracked pot creates beauty, fulfilling the purpose of joy. The courier realizes he absolutely needs them both to make his life whole. From that day forward, the dynamic entirely shifted. The perfect pot carried its water with deep humility, and the cracked pot leaked its water with pure joy. They traveled together every single day, no longer as bitter rivals, but as true friends, both of them entirely perfect in their own unique ways. Section 4. Embracing your own cracks. Lessons for our lives. So how do we take the beautiful wisdom of this story and actually apply it to our own lives? Because the reality is, this isn't just a cool animated sci-fi fable. It's a mirror reflecting exactly how we treat ourselves.
The truth is, we are all a little bit of both pots. Think about it. Some days we feel super capable and flawless, but maybe we lack a little warmth. Other days we feel incredibly imperfect, but we're deeply capable of creating unexpected beauty. We all have strengths we should absolutely be grateful for, and weaknesses that can serve a much greater purpose. I want you to take away 2 core lessons from this explainer today. First, never ever judge someone by their flaws or limitations. You don't know the full story, and you have no idea what kind of beauty their struggles might be watering behind the scenes. And second, embrace your own imperfections, because they are exactly what make you unique. What matters isn't being perfect, it's being entirely true to who you are, cracks and all.
Seriously, nobody is perfect, and that is perfectly fine. Our imperfections are what make us fundamentally human. Sometimes the very thing we are the most ashamed of, the thing we try desperately to hide from the world, is actually the source of our greatest gift.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question to think about today. What unexpected beauty are your cracks creating? Don't hide your flaws. Stop apologizing for them. Start looking for the flowers growing along your own path.